Chapter 4. Enough. Every life eventually confronts the same quiet question. How much is enough? Enough money. Enough success. Enough recognition. Enough security. At first, the question seems simple. Most people assume the answer lies somewhere beyond where they currently stand. Just a little more income, a little more progress, a little more safety, and the feeling of sufficiency will arrive. But something strange tends to happen. The horizon moves. What once seemed like abundance begins to feel ordinary. What once felt like security begins to feel fragile. What once felt like achievement begins to feel incomplete. The human mind is remarkably skilled at resetting its expectations. Without realizing it, many people end up living inside a moving target, where the definition of enough quietly expands faster than the life itself. This is one of the great traps of modern life. A person may work tirelessly to build a good life, only to discover that the standard they are measuring themselves against has changed again, and again, and again. Eventually, the pursuit begins to feel less like progress and more like pursuing a horizon that recedes as you approach it. The problem is not desire. Desire is part of being human. It fuels exploration, creativity, and growth. The problem is unexamined desire. Many of the things people chase are not the product of careful reflection. They are inherited expectations, ideas absorbed from culture, comparison, advertising, and social pressure. What appears to be a personal ambition may in fact be a borrowed one. A wise life requires a moment of honesty. To pause and ask, what do I actually need? Not what impresses others. Not what signals status. Not what culture quietly insists is necessary. But what truly supports a life that is stable, meaningful, and alive. For many people, the answer turns out to be smaller and simpler than expected. Enough to live with dignity. Enough to care for those we love. Enough to pursue work that feels worthwhile. Enough space to breathe, think, and be present in the life we are living. When enough becomes clear, something important happens. Life gains orientation. Instead of chasing endlessly expanding desires, effort can be directed toward building a life that actually satisfies the underlying needs of a human being. Security, connection, purpose, curiosity, love. From that place, ambition does not disappear, but it changes character. It becomes less about proving oneself and more about expressing oneself. Less about accumulation and more about creation. Less about comparison and more about alignment. In this way, enough is not the enemy of growth. It is the condition that makes wise growth possible. Because a person who knows what is enough is no longer easily captured by every new promise of more. They can choose. And that quiet freedom is one of the most powerful foundations of a wise life.